I bought you flowers, but you wanted chocolates instead. But I don't understand. What? What could be more romantic than a bunch of dead flowers? Are you sure it's okay to film here? I'm not sure if it is, but okay, let's get on with it. Hi, I'm Angus, and you may well know me from earlier work such as The Chicken or the Egg and Why Neither is the Answer. Or Are All SUV Drivers Climate Criminals? But today I'm here to talk to you about cut flowers and why, unless they are actually from your own garden, the romance they offer is a rather dark interpretation. Brilliant. This is poetic. So anyway, I think this is a good time to go to the studio with Angus. Now there's a conundrum. At what point does a cut flower that has lost its roots become a dead flower? At what point do the flowers of romance become the flowers of cancer and destruction of our life support system here on Earth? So here are some flowers actually I bought a couple of days ago that are already beginning to deteriorate. Actually, they're not yet. I think they've sort of bloomed since I bought them. But that's because we've put them in water and they're sucking out the nutrients in the water. They're never going to grow again. They're essentially dead flowers. So they're going to try in vain for the next few days to suck more nutrients out of the water to stay alive. But in a few days, you'll be able to see clearly that they are dead. Most out-of-season flowers in the UK either come from Kenya or Holland. And these weren't marked, so we're pretty sure they're not British. So they probably came from Kenya, which is itself at the very real and dirty coalface of climate breakdown, bizarrely suffering both extreme drought and extreme flooding at the same time, which is currently displacing entire communities from one hell to another. This bunch of flowers has a carbon cost of around 33 kilos. That's the same carbon cost as 33 pints of beer, or 33 15-minute showers in a power shower, or 62 miles in an average family car, 26 miles in an SUV, or 183 miles in an electric car. And that is why I don't buy my girlfriend flowers. The end. But seriously, I have never been a big fan of the whole flowers thing anyway. So personally, this sort of legitimizes my shortcomings in this particular area of romance. But of course, there's more to the story. There's always more to the story. Not all flowers are grown, born, or cut equally. It really does depend a lot on how far your flowers have had to travel to get to you. If they're grown, as most commercial growers do, with carcinogenic pesticides, if they are grown out of season or in a heated greenhouse, or whether they are coming from a country or area suffering famine. Kenya and also, surprisingly, Holland are about as bad as it gets. Holland because they are grown out of season in heated greenhouses, and Kenya because of the air miles. But on the other end of the scale, flowers grown in your own garden without the use of pesticides have zero CO2 emissions. And whilst they're growing, they also provide a wonderful habitat for insects and bees. So, if you really want to be green and romantic, I suggest dinner at home with your finest cutlery, best glasses, and special occasion crockery, mood lighting, soft music. That's what I call seduction music. 42 is one of our favourites. Perhaps some candles, a bottle of fine wine, and an enthusiastic shag. No, again, seriously, if you want to give your partner, your mother, father, or relative flowers, if you can't grow your own, it is actually easier than you think. See Rewilding Your Lawn. I'll put a link, I think, here. Then choose local, grown in season flowers. For anyone in the UK, there's a link in the description below to a very helpful website that lists small-scale local flower growers in the UK. But also try and choose a florist or grower who does not use single-use plastic. If you think about it, and let's be honest, most people haven't, there is really nothing romantic about giving your loved one something that could give him or her, or non-binary other, cancer, and is also responsible, along with flying, driving, and eating dead animals, for planet-wide climate breakdown, that in turn will most likely see your grandchildren suffer the true horror of our dystopian future as our life support system here on Earth begins to break down. What's happened to my flowers? Happy anniversary, darling. Here are some dead flowers that are sprayed with carcinogens that will seep into our waterways and into our food systems, which is one of the reasons that you and I and our children have a 40% chance of being diagnosed with cancer in our lifetimes. This bunch is also responsible for pumping about 33 kilos of CO2 into the atmosphere, helping our slow dystopian slide towards irreversible climate breakdown. And what I'm really pleased with about these ones is they come from a country that is actually struggling to feed its population due to using their remaining arable land and water to grow flowers for export to the developed world. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, and to cap it all, they came wrapped in single-use plastic, which could, based on our current trajectory of self-destruction, actually outlast humanity on this planet. The flowers of romance. Look, if you want to buy flowers, they need to be local grown, grown in season and without pesticides. Otherwise, well, you should probably just buy her chocolates instead. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Will she understand if you stop buying her flowers? Are plastic flowers the answer? Discuss. And if you have not already done so, please do take a moment to subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to show me some love by getting out your Cupid's arrow and shooting the like button. And you can also share this video across any of these social media platforms. Doing all or any of these things really does help me reach a wider audience and hopefully affect positive change. I actually poked fun at plastic flowers in an earlier video, and I do still think they are an abomination, but they are so realistic these days. I think there really might be an argument for flowers for life, like bags for life. It is certainly the lesser of two evils. If you have enjoyed this video and found it useful or just weirdly compelling, you might like this one, or indeed this one. Behold, the flowers of romance are dead.